and welcome to the A-List. I'm Trent Ketchmark, and today we're sitting down with Judy Baar Topinka, Illinois State Comptroller. Thank you, Judy, for coming on the show.
Sure.
I appreciate it very much.
Sure, I do too. It's been a while since I've been around.
Yes.
I love your studio. It looks like CNN.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just want to start out real quick. What do you do? What is your role as Comptroller, as Illinois State
Well,
Comptroller?
first of all, I'll tell you what it isn't.
Okay.
Because we have a number of people who think, the only word controller they know is air traffic controller. And they think I have an Air Force or that I'm up, landing planes up and
Yes.
down. I have nothing to do with aircraft, nothing. And I get mail on this for aircraft, which we send over to U.S. Department of Transportation or to Illinois Department of Transportation. But that ain't me, okay? And so basically, I pay the bills for the state of Illinois. We also do a pre-need fund that we take care of for funeral directors. And we have a number of programs of outreach that we do, trying to get people literate financially. And we work with the treasurer in terms of trying to see if we can hold the state together, because as you know, the state's pretty wobbly right now.
Yes. Have you served in any other elected offices?
Oh yeah,
Before.
I was a state representative. I was a state senator, and then I was the first Republican treasurer in 32 years, 3 terms. I think the first time they thought it was a fluke. By the time the second time came around, they realized not. I'm the Republican committeeman for Riverside Township, which really doesn't make much difference now that we've been redistricted to the city of Chicago, but
Yes.
I'm still the Republican committeeman. We try. And of course, I tried to run for governor when I went up to try and take out Governor Blagojevich. Unfortunately, the public preferred a crook to me, so what can I say?
Are there any certain policies or projects you're proud of that you've helped out with?
You know, it would be very, very hard to enumerate them all, because when you've done 25, 30 years, as I go around the state and I see buildings that we help to finance, I see people that we have made whole, I see various types of non-for-profits that even right now we try to pay first to keep them from folding so that people don't get thrown on the street. I look at schools that we've been able to help. I mean, it's been a life of helping, and that makes me feel good. People say, why do you do this? Why do you keep doing this? In fact, I have a gentleman who really doesn't like me very much, and he suggested that I go retire and go to Florida. Well, why should I? I like this. I do a good job at it. We watch the finances. And it's my bohemian blood. It's the DNA. I'm so cheap, it's just horrible. I will save every dollar I can for the state.
Could you explain to all the viewers what teacher pension is and what is?
This is something I think our public really needs to know, because it is coming. It will come, and it's going to get us right between the eyes. Up to now, the state has paid for the teacher pension fund, even though these folks are not our state employees. They work for the school district. And the speaker has said he is going to try and get that off of the state's plate and move it back down to the local school level. So all those little games that school boards have played over the years, which is not to necessarily raise salaries to the teachers as much as they could, but to bump them up when they were closer to retirement, knowing that the state would pick up the tab, that's going to come to a very ugly end, and our property taxes are going to take a hit. Although it will come incrementally, it will be a hit. So everybody ought to hold on to their seats, because we're going to wind up with more property taxes. Let me just say one more other thing. School districts, I don't care at what level, are going to have to learn to live within their means. Teach kids. That is your primary function. It is not to build edifices to one's memory. Teach kids. And we're going to need it more than ever to compete globally.
When are we looking at the full property increase?
Altogether, it will take about 20 years to even out, but it will be in percentages, and it will come piece by piece. And I am sure that this legislature will do this as part of trying to do pension control, because right now we are underfunded to the tune of about $96 billion. That's bigger than some countries' whole economy. That's our debt. I'm right now at about, and we looked it up, I have 78,819 unpaid bills, which have to be paid. And we owe right now, that all adds up to $3.68 billion. Now, this is a tax season. We're getting money coming in, so I can pay some bills.
Yeah.
But that's going to go up by July 1st. I'll be back up to about $9 billion in the hole. And I would like to tell you, before we go, we got to tell the public this.
Yes.
I did pay RB, okay? As of May 7th, we owed you $73,000. We paid you. So you're off my books. Okay, that's all good. Now, you also have a Capital Development Board grant that is allegedly coming to you. And it usually is. We have reps and senators who throw those things out a mile a minute, even though we can't pay for them, which is, it's good for a headline. But anyway, they have not submitted a voucher to us, so we don't have anything to pay. So the Capital Development Board has not vouchered us. But roughly that is $8.2 million, and they're slowly going down to pay this, so you're coming up in the system. It should be pretty soon. For instance, we just paid District 95 all the money that they were to get. So it's coming, but then so is Christmas.
You talked about combining the offices of Comptroller and Treasurer. Would you still like to see this happen? Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, and that's why I'm running for another term. I'm going to find a way to do this. There are some scurrilous ways to do it, and I will get it done. We've already passed, that's going to be a constitutional amendment. We've already passed it overwhelmingly in the Senate. It's in the House, where just about everybody and their cousin is a co-sponsor, because they all realize that there's about a 20% duplication between the treasurer and the controller. It used to be one office. And in the 50s, there was a fellow named Orville Hodge who ran away with money, and so they separated these offices. Now there's no need for that separation. Bring them back. It'll save us $12 million a year. And the public won't even feel it, because you won't even know. The same jobs will still get done, but it'll get done more efficiently. So yeah, I'm still pushing for that.
Well, yeah, that $12 million
I mean,
certainly.
that's
Certainly
not going to solve all our monetary
of
problems.
course, yes.
But $12 million is still a pretty. I mean, if there was a $12 million jackpot, I'd probably buy a lottery ticket. It's worth something.
Can you explain the difference between a treasurer and a comptroller? What they do?
The treasurer is the state's banker. They actually have control of the money. They make investments and things of this sort, and when they get enough money, they send it down to us, and then we pay the bills and make sure we have enough money to spread around and do what we do. So those offices in 23 other states are combined. Not only that, but in the private sector, they are usually combined too. So this is kind of silly to keep them separated. I would also point out that as we develop budgets in the state of Illinois, the two fiscal officers, the treasurer and the controller, are not invited to those talks. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
That is so stupid. Sometimes government can be very stupid. Drives me crazy. All right.
As you were saying earlier, you made a run for governor a few years back.
Yep.
And are you planning on running ever again in the future? Or is that...
I'm going to run for controller again.
Okay.
I like the fiscal offices. I really enjoyed being treasurer. I love being controller because I can at least hold the state together. Now, I'm holding it together with baling wire and bubble gum, but I'm holding it together. And, every day our phone rings with people who are just going under for the third time and they need money. So, we pay a little bit here, maybe not the whole amount. We plug a hole there, we plug a hole there. I know you do magic in your spare time.
Yes.
Well, I do a lot of magic every day, too. I have to pull rabbits out of hats. And I'm running a little short on rabbits. I'm down to gerbils. All right, but we're making it happen. So it takes time and a lot of hands on it if you do it right. Really cleaned the place up. Got rid of the abacuses and put us onto a direct deposit. That saved us $1.2 million in the first month I was in office. For gosh sakes, be smart.
That's great. Yeah.
Right? Okay.
What are some of those challenges facing Illinois, or as your role as comptroller?
Well, it's going to consistently be trying to pay our debts, trying to keep the legislature from going off to try to borrow again. We tell them, stop the borrowing. That's how we got into this. And of course, Rod Blagojevich was the frosting on the cake. I will never forgive him for sticking us with all this. And not only are we going to pay for all his misdeeds, but we're also going to pay for him about $50,000 a year to keep him in jail for 14 years.
Great.
Wonderful, wonderful. But he's just an expensive product. It's interesting too that after he won the second term and beat me, he is a bit of Illinois history, whether you like it or not. It's dark, but it's history. And the legislature does not want to put his picture up with the other governors. And I said, why don't you just put it up and turn your back when you walk around? It is history. You got to suck it up, guys. Come on. So it goes. But I like this because we're able to clean up a lot of things. We're able to give you information. We've made a very transparent, user and public and press friendly website. So if you go to illinoisgovernment.com and you get, hit the button and you get the Comptroller's office, you will find what we call our ledger, where we put contracts up that are being bid. We put up who got them. We put up all the salaries of state employees. You can see it right there. Now, I know your superintendent wanted information about the capital grant, where it is in the system, and so on. All he has to do is pick up the phone and call me. I answer the phone. In fact, we don't use voicemail. So real life people answer the phone.
That's great.
And we'll be happy to, you call, your whole television crew. You call, we'll give you any information you want. You want transparency. I'm an old journalism jock, okay?
Yeah.
We make it available to everybody.
That's great. That's certainly great.
So what else you got?
Do you have any ideas on how Illinois can get out of this financial hardship?
Well, for one thing, is don't create new programs when you can't pay for old programs.
That certainly
I mean,
makes sense.
that would seem to be common sense.
Yes.
However, common sense is sometimes in short supply. So that's don't borrow, okay? Do not do this. Live within your means. The same thing I said to school districts, and you're going to have to do something with pensions and Medicaid. Right now, that's about 22% of our budget. It grows. As we sit here, we're going to drop $17 million more into that mess a day. That's just going to keep going up. So you're going to have to pay some attention. There's 2 bills pending out there now. They're a little different, so we'll see which way the legislature wants to go. But we're going, and you're going to have to cut things.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have to go through, and not with a meat axe. That's just stupid. It's lazy and it's stupid. You've got to go through each line by line and find out, does it work? Is it usable? Is it practical? Do we need it? If we don't need it, get rid of it. What's not to understand about that?
Makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense to me.
All right, but this is like a 30, 40-year mess that we're in.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen overnight.
That's for sure. I want to bring this up to you. I understand you play accordion. How does that play a role in your life?
Well, I remember my father, who was a great piano player. He said he got through World War II playing the piano. And I do believe that. And I play the piano too, and I kind of strum a guitar every once in a while. I am a member of the Musicians Union, and I really advocate for anybody having a wedding, a funeral, a bar mitzvah, whatever, hire live musicians, because they got to make a buck too. They're very good.
Yes.
But I play the accordion. He always said, you never know when that accordion will come in handy. And I thought, when would an accordion come in handy? So I've got a little my amplifier, and I've got a plug-in and whatever. And so I've played at the state fair. I'll just plug in. I've gone to ethnic events, and I'll plug in, and off it goes. It's a great instrument.
That'd be great, yeah.
But people ask, I walk around, it's like, where is your accordion? They don't realize that this is quite a large instrument. Yeah. It's not as though I cart it around every day with me or wear it around my neck. Yeah, it's heavy. And with a nasty case of arthritis that I've always had, and it's just gotten worse over the years. I mean, people don't realize that I've had arthritis forever. And so it's just a little hard to have to carry that weight now, so I usually sit down and play. But I enjoy it too. I like making music. I like people to enjoy music. That's why I want to make sure in our schools that we are teaching music appreciation, if nothing else, music. And you got a great band over there.
Yes.
They are exceptional. I see them in all these ethnic parades. And things.
Yeah, it's great.
Great. And I always say, hi, RB, you know, and carry on about that. But they're really good. And this is a great school. You ought to be proud you're going
Oh,
here.
no, I am proud. Thank you, but thank you.
Yeah.
I also like to thank you for coming on the show today. It's been great.
Anytime.
I like to say, just thank you for coming here. My name is Trent Ketchmark. This has been The A-List. Thanks for watching.